Hi everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel today. When we are trying to think about and maybe analyze or even understand narcissist behavior, I think it's very important that we keep in mind the driving forces behind the behavior that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to us because we do not live in the same way. We don't have those same driving forces. One of the largest driving forces of any narcissist is to uphold and maintain the false image, the false persona, the fantasy self that they have spent so long creating and crafting. They will avoid having to look at themselves genuinely and authentically because who they will see is not acceptable. They know this way, way deep on a subconscious level. They would never admit to this or very rarely admit to this fact in general life. Their lives are spent with one of the main driving forces upholding and maintaining for the entire world and themselves, and this is important, that fantasy self, that false self, that persona that they have created to overcompensate for the reality of who they are. Avoidance is huge here because a narcissist will do and say anything to avoid the accountability, to avoid the responsibility of who they truly are and what their behavior truly does to other people. They're not going to look at that. They don't want to look at it. It's too ugly, too dark, too awful for them to handle. So, through the years, through the decades, they have created this fantasy self, this fantasy life. With avoidance in interactions with other people, their partners, co-workers, a boss worker relationship, really any relationship. With this avoidance, projection and deflection come into play. Instead of being able to have a rational, mature, emotionally balanced conversation with somebody who might approach them to talk about behavior or abusive behavior, the narcissist is going to project back onto that person everything they do themselves. Again, avoidance is key. When the narcissist does this, the other person is probably going to get fed up, angry, react in some way, and the narcissist wants exactly that. Because of that, the narcissist is avoiding having to look at themselves and take responsibility for their behavior. Instead of saying, as we might, as an emotionally mature, developed human being, instead of saying something like, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. Please tell me what I can do. How did that make you feel? I need to know how that made you feel. I'm so sorry. I want to work to correct that." A narcissist won't do that. So projection of all of their dirty deeds, their dastardly behavior, will be placed verbally back onto the person bringing up the topic of the conversation in the first place. To do this, the narcissist has likely crafted through the years and through the decades many standard statements that they might use over and over to make the victim, to make the target feel like, you know what. With deflection, a narcissist will take the topic at hand and bring in anything from the outside that will deflect the topic at hand. What they often do will bring up something from the past, something that makes no sense, maybe something that is not even related to the topic at hand, deflecting the topic that the person wants to address, deflecting the fact that the person, likely the victim, wants to address some type of abusive behavior. The narcissist will deflect that topic onto something totally unrelated. When the narcissist does that, the victims often feel like, "Oh my God, what is happening? I'm trying to talk about what just happened 10 minutes ago, and you're bringing up something that happened 5 years ago, or maybe a whole entirely different subject that doesn't make any sense." Deflection will keep the victim, the target, off balance, questioning themselves. Am I going crazy here? I'm trying to have a conversation. And all of a sudden, we're talking about the weather in Canada in the month of September. It makes no sense. And this is so important, everyone, is that illogical behavior, nonsensical behavior is a clue of a dysfunctional or even a disordered personality. The narcissist's goal is to uphold their false self. And in order to do that, projection of their faults, their faulty perceptions, their bad behavior onto the victim achieves this. In addition to that, the deflection of the topic at hand will leave the victim really scratching their heads, wondering what just happened here. When we have those feelings, let's pay attention to them, because it's likely that type of behavior will just continue over time. When we think of the narcissist, we must put aside any sympathy or empathy we may want to feel with someone who is so dysfunctional, so disordered. We can perhaps care from afar that they do not have the emotional maturity or self-development that most of us do. From afar, maybe we can understand a little bit that need that they have to overcompensate, but we cannot understand the need to use projection and deflection in communication when an important topic is brought up to discuss. So please be cognizant and aware of your own giving heart in these situations. It's not up to you to fix the narcissist. It's not up to you to fix the fact that they project and deflect when you're trying to talk about something. We try. I know so many of us did try with futility. There was no positive outcome, or we wouldn't be here. Recognizing narcissist tactics to avoid responsibility and accountability is key to keeping our own sanity, to keeping our own thoughts and our own confidence really strong and firm, because you know the narcissist is going to work to take that all away. So, my friends, stay the course. Have faith in this journey. Excuse me, faith in this journey. Remember who the narcissist is or was, and even more importantly, remember who you are and how much you are worth. You're worth the best treatment. We all are. So stay the course, have faith in the journey, and until next time, bye for now.